Season 4, Episode 3, which is our 43rd total episode here on Willis Nest. For you that don't know, we let a randomizer wheel choose which game we get to play each week. And then we talk about how great or how bad it is. Then we rank them until we eventually get all 700 plus games of the Super Nintendo system there. So you can compare and contrast our picks versus yours, and
you can tell us where we're wrong,
and probably listen to some god awful games that you never heard of,
but you never want to play.
There's been Untouchables is still the worst piece of crap that I've ever seen.
Or hey, maybe you're like, it can't be that bad, and you do play it.
Hey, Space Megaforce was a pleasant surprise.
That was a solid one.
So this week we drew Seaquest DSV, which I'm going on a wild guess means deep sea voyage.
It does. I googled it.
So the cover of the box actually looks pretty good. It's a little cartoony, but it kind of gets the point. Now, I don't think Josh knew that I watched this show like a fool back in the day. Like
I did not.
And I guess probably the easy way to explain it is kind of like Star Trek, even though I'm not a Star Trek fan, but it's like Star Trek, but in the ocean.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if we make it all the way through without making a reference, a joke of the Titan submersible. I mean, because one of these damn little...
it looks really close to it.
So, the show, the only thing I remember is there was a kid in there. I think his name was Jonathan Brandis was the actor. And he could talk. There's a dolphin that talks. And that was pretty much all I really damn remember from the show. I don't think it aired too long. I think it was like 59 total episodes or something like that. But it was cool for its time. I would imagine if we went back and watched this TV show now, it would probably be god-awful. But to get this thing started off, Josh, do you want it, for you that are an infant, I guess, of Seaquest, would you like to hear what the back of the box says?
Yes, I would. And I may be an infant to Seaquest, but I know Galaxy Quest.
I don't think I ever watched Galaxy Quest. Is that the Eddie Murphy or Tim Allen one?
It's the Tim Allen with Al Rootman in it.
Okay. Captain on the Bridge, Seaquest DSV. The futures is very strange. Look here on the back of the box. It says the future, and then the S is spaced out. The future 5 largest.
The future's largest. I'm assuming the S is supposed to be. It's supposed to be apostrophe S.
Yeah, there's no apostrophe. There's just a big gap there. No, sorry, it got me.
It's future.
It's future dialect, right? Okay, let's start this back. Captain on the Bridge, Seaquest DSV, the future's largest, most powerful submarine is at your command. Pilot through the pirate-infested warriors and take on a variety of challenges. To succeed, you must take control of all the Seaquest futuristic navigational, information, and weapon systems. Explore the depths, answer distress calls, and conduct whisker scans.
Whiskers.
To locate various mission sites. There you'll choose from the Hyper-Reality Probe, Darwin the Dolphin, or 4 different launch vehicles to complete your mission. Conduct dangerous rescues, recover sunken treasure, and most of all, keep the peace in a troubled underwater world. The bridge is yours, Captain. It does sound very...
Star Trek-y?
Yeah. I guess some background on it. Developed by Sculpted Software. Acclaim ends up basically taking over Sculpted Software in 95. I guess let me say this game came out in 94 on the Genesis, 95 on Super Nintendo. I don't know that this was the last game that was released before Acclaim got them. It was the same year. It kind of, there's some background about Acclaim getting them. It doesn't really seem too interesting or pertinent. But Sculpted Software made a few games that are interesting. That they made the Alien trilogy. They made Dirt Tracks FX, an FX chip.
It sounded, I remember, it sounds like this was a familiar one, so...
When I said made, they've worked on.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1 and 3, Super Star Wars, and a handful of wrestling games. So that's kind of there. Now, THQ published it in Europe, but Malibu did in North America. Once again, it is the Malibu Comics, folks. That's really how I know Malibu more than anything. And it was released on Super Nintendo, Genesis, and Game Boy. I did see some screenshots of the Game Boy version. I don't know. It was very interesting. I have a feeling...
was it as interesting as the RoboCop on Game Boy?
I was like watching it and I was like, this looks really strange, but it might actually play pretty good on a Game Boy. I don't know.
It may.
I don't know. It looked like garbage, but I kind of got a feeling like I would dig it a little bit. But whatever. So kind of a background too is Amblin Entertainment is the folks, I guess, that did the actual show. It is Steven Spielberg's. He founded Amblin Entertainment, hence the emblem of E.T. and the basket of the bicycle.
Yeah.
You know, so this was one of Spielberg's thing, which I mean, you know, Spielberg's all over the damn place, you know, and and it actually does that on the
load up screen.
The load up screen. So just kind of, I guess, hit a little bit basic on the show and the game. The plot, I guess it probably didn't have much of a plot. Like, basically on TV, it was, hey, there's some kind of mission that needs to be done, whether somebody be in trouble or whatever. And you're as well, really, it was kind of like protecting the planet resources type thing the show was, which I guess is a lot like the game. So basically on the game, you travel with the big wiener shaped freaking boat,
the giant squid,
the giant squid dick.
Yeah.
And you go to, I guess you really, I don't know what you would even call this view, if it's like an isometric, but you're basically on the seafloor. You can go forward, backwards, up and down.
It's almost a top down, but not fully.
And you can shoot, and so you can actually shoot enemies there, as well as find like wreck sites and missions, to where you will send out the appropriate vehicle or dolphin
or animal
or sea crabs. I feel like sea crabs or the crab. There's going to be some jokes on that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't hop in the sea crab unless so. And you kind of do pretty much like the show is, even though it's more about collecting money than anything. But I didn't finish this game, so
I didn't either.
I don't know that you're really meant to finish this game, to be quite honest about it. But
there's probably a speed run.
I think there isn't a speed run on this one.
We could be the first.
I did see a long play on YouTube, and so I do have that. I do not want to speed run this game. I'll just go ahead and tell you. So once again, you're just taking whatever challenges comes your way, handling it appropriately, and ending the mission. I don't know if I really missed anything on the build-up for it. It is pretty plain. You imagine a Star Trek game, but underwater.
Yep.
I mean, you ain't got dogfighting. I guess that would have been something. Yeah, I guess you kind of do.
You do, sort of do.
But it's not real good.
No.
Well, Josh, do you want to jump on over into Make It and Break It? Or is there anything that... I guess, talking about the controls, there's a lot going on with the controls before we get there. Like say you got forward, backwards, up, down, fire forward, fire backwards. You get into the different screens, and there's a lot of... it's pretty much essentially the same controls, but I guess that's one thing to mention is the controls. I think it probably does use every button. I don't know. I can't remember the L and R buttons, but...
did the L and R buttons do anything?
I can't remember. I feel like they probably didn't.
I thought they did. I may have been wrong. I thought they cycled through your weapons.
Okay.
Because I know your
That may have been
giant
it,
squid ship could carry multiple weapons. And I thought that's what they done.
So,
but they didn't tell you what your weapons were.
No, that was definitely strange. So let's jump on over into Make It, I guess, without any further ado or excitement. I will go ahead and tell you one of the things that was pretty cool. It was the opening credit where it had the Seaquest logo shimmering over the water. Being honest, pretty good for a Super Nintendo game.
Looked really decent.
And I do not, for the life of me, remember if that's what it looked like on the TV show. But if you told me it was, I believe it. I mean, that part did look really good. And so I'd say probably another one that I had is the information screen or the command module, whatever you want to call it, when you're in the ship. It looked pretty good.
It flowed.
Yeah, I mean, it probably looked like... Now, I didn't really care for the menus as much, but it did look like the inside of a cockpit. I mean...
It looked like the command...
It's kind of like when we played Super Battle Tank. I'm guessing that's probably what the inside of a battle tank looks like, you know? So I was okay with that.
Another thing is the opening music. It didn't sound great, but to me, it sounded like they tried to copy the theme song. And now I could be 100% wrong on this because I never watched the show.
I can't remember what the theme song
So
was.
I'm sitting there thinking, like, well, they gave it a shot.
I'm not gonna put the music and break it, but it was pretty much... It didn't tip the scale one way or another. So I'm going to put that as, I guess, a neutral comment. I will tell you, though, that right off the bat, it's talking about you becoming an officer. So I did like that when you started up, you're like, well, what's the whole purpose of this game? It's like, well, obviously, nobody wants to be a damn, janitor on the freaking Seaquest, for all them seamen. And so it's like, hey, complete these missions. This will be part of your quest on being an officer. So, I mean, at least to kind of put that out there, because, I mean, everybody wants to be an officer. Everybody wants to be the damn pilot.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to fly the shit.
Like you said, no one wants to be the janitor on the Death Star. You want to be the pilot of the Death Star.
That's right. So, once you actually got into the game and you're controlling the boat, it was pretty strange. But I do know that the ship, and I did appreciate it, the ship kind of drifts in the water.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I ain't going to say realistic, because...
It has physics.
Yes. So, like, once you let go, your ship is going to kind of coast to a stop. There's a float to it.
Yeah.
So it isn't like, just necessarily turning on a dime, at least on that part of the game. So...
Yeah, there was a little bit of a physics engine behind it.
You do get a feeling like you're actually in water, one thing that I did like too was when you would go to the, I guess you would call it the bridge or whatever, that it was like a mouse pointer, like a cursor.
Yeah.
But it actually wasn't that bad.
No.
It wasn't like...
Confused me the first time.
Yes. It took a minute.
Of...
Now, it was good enough that, I think it was on Untouchables. It was on one of them. I know it was like, oh, man, I wish or maybe it was Pieces. It's like, oh, man, I really wish I had a mouse to play with. This was good enough that I'm like, no, I'm fine with just using the controller. I wouldn't want a mouse to play with. But I did think that it was unusually smooth for... a Super Nintendo game. So, I did kind of really dig that, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I did too. That was one of my biggest make-its. Is going to the bridge, like you said, it had the mouse cursor, but I mean, it was a little confusing at first because you wasn't expecting it, I was expecting to hit a button and be able to cycle through stuff.
I did like, too, that, if you actually clicked on some of the buttons on the bridge, like the little... Because they had, these small arrows that didn't really look like they did much. It was... You could hit them arrows, and it would cycle through your past missions.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I get that. Because, to be honest, I'd be sitting there, kind of drifting around a little bit, and I kind of couldn't find out what the hell I was supposed to do. So I'd go back in there and actually be able to go look. Didn't really help me a whole hell of a lot, but made me feel like I was... let me go back for the 6th time around this damn little floating island and figure out.
Yeah.
I will say one thing is when they shot for the moon, you know, like I say, I don't know that you really can make a better game. I mean, I guess you made a pretty damn good game for what it is. I don't know how you would have made it any better, but they did give you, for a game like this, being able to have the instruments.
Yeah.
Like all the vehicles. Being able to have the damn dolphin. The dolphin, now, by God.
That motherfucker was fast.
The dolphin was the best part of the fucking... That's what I remember from the show. So, thank you. Thank you for letting us fuck with a dolphin here.
Yeah.
Like, because if you didn't give us a damn dolphin, I mean, not even a little...
Or a little interaction.
Yeah.
No, okay. Now, the dolphin didn't make the sound. It talked.
Well, that was a dolphin verbally making the sound.
Okay. Okay.
But, you know, yeah, I was like... I felt like if you were a fan of the show, you could definitely relate. You got the dolphin... And you got a lot of the damn vehicles that you probably see on the show. Now, I can't remember if all these vehicles are on the damn show. But I'll go ahead and tell you the big dick-looking main, the squid dick, that looked just like the damn show did. I would imagine that the rest of it did as well. Or the rest of the ships, if they were in the show. I've only got a couple more things here. There was a password system.
Yeah.
And it was kind of strange because I guess it kind of passworded for, like, you could access it at any time and get a password.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because I was like, this is a big freaking game. I wouldn't want to play it over and over from the start, you know. I feel like a password system is mandatory in this game. And I kind of like the way they did it. Now, I don't know later on when you get if you get yourself in a pickle with the money, if you can screw yourself with the password system.
You have to, right?
So, but I did like that there's a password system, because if you told me you sat down and you had to play through this son of a bitch, and because I wouldn't even really say there's levels. I mean, you got missions, but it isn't like a traditional, it ain't like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, where you go to the final bosses by entering in a password.
Yeah.
I actually should have probably looked up some of the passwords, just seeing how crazy some folks... I'm sure there's probably a lot of shared passwords out there.
Oh, yeah, there has to be.
The last thing I got is, once again, on the different craft, is not every mission you can use the same craft. Like, there's certain missions that need specific crafts.
That require certain...
Or maybe 2 or 3 of the crafts can do the mission, and 2 or 3 can't. So I could play the same mission as you and have a different experience because I like using a different vehicle.
You like using the sea crab.
The sea crabs, or the damn... God, the one that felt like a bus. I guess it was like the sea truck, so I always...
Yeah, that motherfucker, that huge-ass thing.
So it was kind of cool. It's like, okay, well... even though me and Josh might play the same game and we might get the same end result, but how we got there could be a little bit different.
It's all about the journey.
It's all about the journey.
It's all about the journey.
That's all I really got on what makes it, Josh. Do you have anything you want to add?
Well, I will give them credit. Like I said, the sound effects weren't a big make it or break it. It was a strictly neutral, which... Normally, in a lot of hours, the sound effects go straight into the break it. Like, there's way too much there. But I think this one here, I don't think I had to mute the sound effects. I think it just blended in.
And it's really just, like say, you put a plus or a minus. This is just a neutral, because I feel like you could have had a stronger soundtrack. You could have. But
you also had an extremely annoying soundtrack.
Correct. I guess another thing I want to mention in here, too, is... I feel like the game was pretty passive, and I guess that's kind of how the soundtrack was, too. At least as far as I got to the game, it seemed pretty passive. Yeah. But I did appreciate that being able to shoot damn in front of me and fucking behind me.
I was about to say, that was my second one, being able to shoot behind me.
So that was pretty cool. Do you want to go ahead and jump into Break It, Josh?
Well, let's go ahead and jump into Break It.
All right. I'm just coming out hot. This is probably my biggest one.
Okay.
Getting hung on the damn seafloor and the fucking walls is bullshit.
Yeah. The walls and the buildings are bullshit.
I mean, sometimes I hit a damn button and I try to damn lower my craft on it, and it's just sitting there bumping up, and the
just bumping uglies with it. That's all it's doing.
The damage is strange because it shows your ship like it's just like a hit marker, almost like on a Final Fantasy. Except they're like from 100% to 95% to 90%. And of course it builds up too, and I think that was kind of strange as well. Yeah. But dude, I don't know how many fucking times I got hung on a damn wall, and like you had to actively like
try to figure it out. It's like working a Rubik's Cube, trying to figure out how to get unstuck.
Oh wait, I can't go forward. Oh shit, I can't go back. Let me turn a little bit to the side and raise. Yep, there I go.
Yeah,
and I was just like, damn it, my ship's at 30% because I was hung like a freaking mule on this damn seafloor. You know, maybe that happens in real life. I ain't getting that close to no shit. You know,
look.
You're about to break out a Titan. You're about to break out a Titan.
No, we're smarter than that. We're not getting on a Titan.
I can do a whole podcast. So I got in it deep. I got in it. No pun intended. That was probably the thing that took the most fun out of it for me. Period.
Oh no, that was a close one. Mine was the ammo. I ran out of ammo so fast trying to line up the perfect shot because aiming was such a obscure thing.
Okay, I'm going to put this in there. This is kind of goes with it. You said ammo, and this is I got later down on my list because I feel like what you had to do, you had to go buy more ammo.
You had to go buy ammo.
This was like a fucking budget game.
Yeah.
And I've got as the quote here is, this is an underwater game. I don't care about fucking budget.
No.
Like, I don't care. Like, I get it. Like, you know, maybe you salvage some shit. But I don't want to have to worry about how much I shoot shit, you know? Like,
they be enemies. They gotta die.
So, yeah, I was not a big fan. That probably was, as far as the fun factor of the game, what sucked the fun out of it. Like, you know, you get through the first few levels or missions and you ain't really got to worry about a whole lot.
No.
And then it was just like, yeah, this isn't fun. Now, I get it if you're wanting to force me to do a mission that needs to be done, but I feel like if you go in there all Leroy Jenkins style,
which I'm all about.
Yes, you're fucked. You're fucked because I will never find more money than I've spent shooting all over the damn place.
Trying to hit somebody because, like you said, they may be a little low, they may be a little high, they may be at this angle. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me readjust to this little slightly different angle.
Well, let's go ahead and, while we're talking about shooting, in my opinion, I forgot shooting in all aspects is goofy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the shooting was very strange. It was probably, when you were the Squid Dick ship, better, maybe. It was still tough to hit. Like, I don't know how many times I'm just sitting here and I look like I'm doing a 14-point turn trying to damn aim right at this motherfucker to hit. And then there is, when you get into, like, the Stinger and all that stuff, shooting on that was weird, too.
Yeah, it was all weird.
I mean, I struggled with it more than the computer did, but I didn't. It's like, I don't know. Not a big fan of the shooting.
No, was not a fan of the shooting at all. Second, here's my other one.
Come on with it.
Tutorial level.
I've got in here that tutorial. I wasn't, to be honest, over the whole game, the map layout, I wasn't a big fan of.
But that tutorial was the worst tutorial I've ever gone through.
Wow, I don't know that I would say that. But I guess you heard it here first. I guess to kind of go into the tutorial too, because I felt like in the tutorial, like sometimes I was just glitching out, like it had not told me the correct place to go. Like there's a lot that maybe if you read the manual, it didn't really hold your hand as much as I thought it should. And so I got in here, I was somewhat blindly moving around most of this game, which I guess you probably really are if you're in that position. Ocean. What are you gonna do? I don't know. Go over here. What's over there? I don't know. Let's go look. Like I guess that's part of it.
That's fine if you tell me that.
Yeah. that tutorial level, I bet you 76 laps around that son of a bitch trying to find shit.
Yeah. If the tutorial level literally just said, hey, fuck around and find it, done.
Instead of fuck around and find out, it's fuck around and find it.
Yeah. That's all you had to tell me.
I've got in here too, and this was a big one. Having to switch back and forth between vehicles like
that, yeah.
I'm not a big backtracker. Like, when done correctly, whether it be like some sort of Mario game, like going back and getting the stars, or a Final Fantasy game where you're like having to go back. Like, I don't mind it when it matters. Like, I can understand if the story leads you to have to go back.
Like, this part of the map is locked because you haven't got the key, defeated the boss, or whatever.
Yes.
Or you don't have the power up.
Yeah, like Doom. There's a lot of times you're like backtracking, but like new secrets are going to open up. And okay, fine. But this one, I did not like having to go through there and basically clear enemies and then get a damn little sea crab or a sea truck in there to damn gather the goods. And I'm not a fan of that. It's like, to be honest, the main screen when you were the squid dick wasn't really that great, but some of the levels when you were in the ships were not good either. No. But so it's like, okay, well, I basically played through it, let me hammer it through. Oh, wait, I gotta go get the other vehicle to go. Was not just, it killed me. I was pulling my damn hair out.
I was not a fan of the scavenger system.
Yeah, that I guess that's correct. The scavenger part of it was pretty fucked.
I hated it. But like I said, controlling it often was fun. Motherfucker's fast.
I will say that this is probably my big hit with it. I've got two more things on break. Is the game doesn't do anything egregiously bad. It just doesn't do anything real great.
Yep.
I guess, pun intended. It's like the whole game's treading water. I'm rolling with it today.
You're just going, just doggy paddling in the ocean.
So, yeah, I mean, I didn't really... The game's okay.
Yeah.
But, like, that's all it's ever going to be.
It's not going to be draining.
If you ask me, hey, is this game fun? Yeah, it's okay. Is it bad? No, it's okay. It's that. It's just like, it's literally middle of the road, which brings me to my last one I got is when I'm playing this game, I feel like this was just an excuse to use a license.
I agree with that 100%.
I probably feel like damn Sculpted Software's over there like, we got to do another game, guys. And then...
That we about to go under.
And they're like, let's do... It's Steven Spielberg. It's and I will say the show, even though I think it got hated on pretty bad, the first season of it, I feel like it was... I'm pretty sure it was on a primetime slot. Maybe Channel 10, Channel 6. I can't remember what channel it was on.
Since 8 and 10.
ABC, NBC. But... it had famous actors. It had Spielberg behind it. I guess if you're going to go shoot for a damn license, why would you not go for a Spielberg license? Why would you not go for a Cameron? Well, it's Spielberg Studios. I don't know how much he actually had to do with it, but I felt like this was a cash grab on this.
They shot for the stars, or they should have shot for the ocean.
Well, true. So that was just one thing I thought was a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I say.
I said they got bought out the same year, or the year after this was.
Yes.
To me, it seemed like it was a last-ditch effort to do something to try to maintain its.
Now, keep this in mind. When Acclaim agreed to buy Sculpted Software, when the deal closed, they bought 1,013 shares of common stock valued at $30 million. So, of course, there's money in it. I'm trying to look. Sculpted Software was renamed to Iguana West. And so he's in with all the Iguana Entertainment. It kind of bounced around. At one point, they were up to 140 employees. And then I think once they finally closed it, there was 70 employees. I think they did some of the Legends of Wrestling and stuff like that, too. But... Yeah. I mean, I don't know that they were necessarily bankrupt, but I mean they were getting money enough to get a damn license. I would imagine that getting a license for a video game probably isn't cheap, or they're going to take a lot of the profits per unit.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of that works, but I'd say, I guess I would say that if we were to buy a license and we got a license of something that had Steven Spielberg's name attached to it, we'd probably be pretty excited, you know. And like I say, the game's not really bad. It's just not really good.
It's middle of the road.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you've got left that you any grievances that you want to air on this? I feel like we're very monotone, very low on this game, but that's kind of exactly the energy that this game brings.
Yeah, I'll say that's the energy of this game. So you covered everything that was on the pro side of it easily. I don't got any other grievances with it whatsoever.
Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into the speed run. There was none, which was really strange to me. I've seen long plays on this on YouTube, and they were over 3 hours long. So it's not a short game. I don't know that you ever can really beat the game. I mean, like I say, it's a budget game. It's kind of like SimCity. I don't know that you can't beat it, but I feel like it is kind of like SimCity, where you never really beat SimCity. You just keep going until your computer craps out, or the new one comes out. Like, there's no ending.
Until you get bored and blow up your own city.
And I kind of feel like that's how this game, it kind of gave me a feeling of that. And I guess it does, when I think about it, have some SimCity aspects to it, but I don't know. Everything was just mediocre with it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was strange that not one single speed run, but a long play for 3 hours. I got some fun facts from the show, and then I got our price charting.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, according to Season 1, Episode 4, the first season of Seaquest DSV is set in 2018.
Well, we already overshot that.
So we ain't got no damn talking dolphins.
Nope. We don't have any underwater labs that we know of.
I'm very unaware if we have some squid dick looking ships in the fleet. I mean, we just got submarines. I don't think we got nothing crazy looking like that.
Do you even know what a squid dick looks like? Maybe
it looks like that big ship.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe that's where submarines are. That's how they
ask Zach.
We need to ask Zach.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if there are sea crabs, and I'm sure that people have got crabs at sea. I don't know. It takes place in 2018.
Do they have COVID? Is that why they're in the ocean?
Maybe. Okay, so Roy Schneider was like it's not Schneider, it's Scheider.
Yeah, I was about to say it. I'm thinking it was Scheider.
Rob Schneider. Now, Roy Scheider he was the captain in the show, and he had worked with Steven Spielberg before, and both featured the ocean and aquatic life. Aquatic life. Because Roy Schneider worked with Steven Spielberg in Jaws. I don't know if he was captain in the ship. I can't remember a whole lot about Jaws, but he was a main character in Jaws, and then, he is Steven Spielberg's Seaman later on in life.
Wasn't he the hunter?
I think he was. The only part I remember out of the whole movie is the quote, "Here's to swimming with bow-legged women." That's the only thing I remember. Also, what's the damn shark's name? I think it was like Walter or something like that, the shark. He's got a name, the Jaws shark does. It's something like Walter or like Harry or something like that,
Wow.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Walter, but, hell, what do I know?
I gotta look it up now.
It is like just a normal person's name.
Name of Jaws shark? Yeah. Bruce,
that's it. Shit, I don't know why I was thinking Walter. It's Bruce.
Made sense because of Finding Nemo.
Is Bruce the shark?
Bruce is the great white.
Ted Raimi was also in it. From the brother of Sam Raimi, who's in, Ted's in a lot of movies. Everybody hates Sam over some of the Spider-Man movies, which I just gotta say, They weren't that bad when they came out. They're bad now, but they were bangers back then.
The
But
Maguire ones?
Yeah, my defense of the Raimis is because one of the best parts of it was Bruce Campbell was in it because they were the Evil Dead folks.
Yeah.
That's, that whole crew. So, Ted was
that's your thing, too.
Oh, yeah. Give me Raimis all day.
Yeah.
And, everybody shits on them. It's kind of like Nickelback. Nickelback didn't sell all those albums without nobody listening. There's two types of people in this world. People who like Nickelback and fucking liars. That's the two people in this world.
There's a Nickelback song out there that you like.
Okay, so here's... I feel like we've got some tie-in to the other games here. So, looking at the two games we did before was Gods and American Gladiators, which basically is, you've got gladiatorial combat, perhaps.
Yeah.
So here's one to tie it in. Maybe this is going to affect my shot calling for the next game. The external CGI shots of the submarine were created and edited with Commodore Amiga computers with lightweight 3D and video toaster softwares. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that's the tie-in. We're getting a fucking Amiga game. Which technically Gods was an Amiga game.
Yeah.
So it's just, I feel like it's the part in one of them serial killer movies where the red yarn is everywhere.
You're just putting everything together. Is it, we going to revert back to season 1? We going back to Will of Amiga?
We might. Now, I fucking started laughing when I seen this. I was like, God damn Amiga. Like,
it's fucking everywhere.
Amiga, yes, it is everywhere. I'm getting an Amiga tattoo. I don't know. Okay, so there is a lot of stuff about Seaquest. But not a lot of it was real great.
Yeah.
A lot of the fun facts was, how bad some of the seasons were and all that such. But I just kind of like the fun, happy, interesting ones.
It was interesting.
So here is maybe the biggest kicker. Let me give me a drink here to get ready for this.
All right, build up.
There was a guest star on one of the seasons.
William Shatner.
It was William Shatner.
I took a shot in the dark. He was everywhere in the early 90s and mid 90s.
When he appeared on the view screen, the ID code at the bottom reads JTK NCC 1701, which stands for James T. Kirk, Shatner's character on Star Trek, and the registry number of the U.S. Enterprise Kirk ship.
Yeah.
So even though that doesn't mean a damn thing, I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
And you got the damn Shat on there. Priceline negotiator.
But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I straight up took a shot in the dark with it being Shatner because I knew he was everywhere in the mid-90s.
Which I will say, Space the Final Frontier, and I've heard that, we know more about I don't know what it is if we know more about some of the space than we do our ocean floors and all that.
Stuff like that.
So, I mean, it is an interesting...
It's a tie-in.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know, I guess it's talking out of my ass, but at least in space, it seems like it's dark, it's a vacuum, but there's bright shit in the damn ocean. It's just dark.
So here's the thing. That's the tie-in. So are they saying that William Shatner, James T. Kirk, is from 2018?
I don't know. Now, with this being said, the fun fact, I clipped and pasted. I just screenshot. It actually says Shatner's character on Star Trek, and in parentheses says 1966, which is probably this season when he started or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like... Vin Diesel or Dom,
just everywhere.
Maybe it's like a brother. I don't know.
Xander Cage?
Yes. So that's really all the fun facts I got. There was a ton of them, but it was over actors. Michael Ironside, I think, was one of the captains after the first few seasons. I think it went 3 seasons. I think after the first season or second season, Michael Ironside, which isn't a lot of good stuff, but my favorite, I'm pretty sure he's the guy from Starship Troopers. You want to live forever? The guy that's like there.
Oh shit, he is, isn't he?
Yeah. Not in the first season, but later on, I think he is the captain of one of the seasons. So,
Oh, damn, now I need to go back and watch Starship Troopers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know. I feel like there's like 5 movies now that all suck after the first one, but I still watch them.
Oh, there's an animated series now.
Yeah, the Starship Trooper animated series actually came out in the mid-2000s.
Yeah.
It's called Roughnecks.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Hastings and buying it, and it was like $60 or $70 damn for like so many seasons of it. And it was pretty good, but Johnny, was it Johnny Rico?
Yeah.
But, all right. So I guess at the end of this, the mediocre show, more than likely, with mediocre video game. I guess, we probably should. Are there mediocre movies that have excellent video games? Or
there is the other way around.
Yeah, I was gonna say
there is a terrible game that's based off of
like No Escape, like
Untouchables. The actual Untouchables movie is actually pretty good.
I've never watched it. Now that one was based, I think, was it off the movie or the TV show?
I think it was based off the TV show.
I think it was too, if I'm remembering correctly. But
but the movie's actually pretty decent.
It's kind of, I feel like this was kind of like No Escape, where the movie was kind of confusing, but the game was like totally legit in with what the movie stood for.
Just run.
But if you didn't watch the movie, you're fucked.
Don't hit down and B, you'll fall off the fucking map.
That's it. All right, let's get this bastard. What do you think? What a loose copy of this flopping around. Say you go over there.
The squid dick just flopping about.
Squid dick. Aquatic.
This aquatic squid dick.
It's just flopping around, and you're gonna grab it. How much is it gonna? Do you think a loose copy?
It'd be probably worth about $15.
You're a little bit low. eBay was higher than price charting. eBay had it $25 to $40 roughly. It was kind of a pretty big variance. Price charting said $19.99. I don't know that I've seen one of them that sold for $19.99. Oh, maybe it's $19.99 plus $6 shipping.
Yeah.
To me, you're paying the shipping. That's the cost of business, but that's still what the cost is.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that there is a ton of people like beating on the door to get Seaquest. I don't know that anybody would say that this is their favorite game they played. It ain't like Super Mario World or Legend of Zelda. It's definitely not on the IGN Top 100 list.
Or even Mario All-Stars.
Or Mario All-Stars. What do you think a complete copy of this runs? There's about a $20 difference roughly between eBay and price charting. eBay, once again, is a little higher.
I'd say 73.
Dude, that's pretty impressive. 77.22. You're pretty close. I thought it was 72.72. And that's why I was like, holy shit. eBay had it at $95. So, I feel like everything's a little high, right?
Yeah.
A complete copy. Now, I've seen one sell that was graded on eBay, and that's all I've seen, and then price charting. Ironically, they're somewhat close, but, I think the graded game is probably like $60 or $80. That's the part that blows my mind.
Yeah.
And unless you're just preserving for the world, why would you grade a Seaquest? I'm not a grader, so I get it.
I'll grade my comic books every now and then.
So what do you think a brand new and or / graded copy is going for?
Doing math. Hang on.
I don't think that the price surprised me as much as a graded copy. Technically, the graded copy on eBay sold for less than what price charting has. Just a regular copy.
I said 73, right?
Yeah.
$252.
Okay, pretty good. Price charting had a brand new copy at $247.
Okay.
So no shame in that. The one I seen on eBay was graded at 9.2, which is probably a shit grade, I guess. I know everybody wants 9.8s and a 10, which you probably never get.
Impossible to get a 10.
But a graded one sold that I seen on there for $220. So that's where I'm like, okay, if price trains go at $247, I mean, eBay goes with the trend.
Yeah.
I mean, I trust price charting, but price charting may be behind. Like holiday season, some games are spiking. Like we were talking about Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy's shot through the roof. And that's not because of holiday. That's not only because of holiday, but also the remaster, the remake, part 2 is coming out, I think, this month or early next year.
So that's my only knock on price charting is price charting, once the market corrects, I believe is 100% accurate, but it takes a minute for the spike.
Yeah.
So once price charting takes that into effect, the spike could be over. So with that being said, price charting's at $247. So if I had a new copy, I'll just go ahead and tell you, if I had a new copy of this and you told me you give me $200, I'd give it to you, shake your hand, slap your ass on the way out.
Yeah.
So a graded copy sold for $220. It has to be like $60 minimum. I'm pretty sure it's like $80.
It's okay. It's to get something graded is $60. No, depends on the company. The company I use, it's $60, but it takes 90 days to get your stuff back. You can pay $90 and you get it back in 60 days, or you can pay $120 and get it back in 30 days.
Now, mind you, the other caveat I've got there is it's graded a 9.2. It's a Super Nintendo game. It's like, a freaking Mickey Mantle that was in the spokes of a bicycle. Like, it wasn't really, it was made to be played.
Yeah.
So to me, a new copy, I don't give a crap if it's a 9.2. Now, I get it if you're talking about millions of dollars or like Mario 3 or something like that that's graded really high.
Yeah.
I get it. But a 9.2 to me is as good as a 9.8 as far as a Seaquest Deep Sea Voyage.
Yeah.
So the part that just boggles my mind is price charting says, hey, this sells for about $250. Okay, let's say maybe the price charting's a little high. Somebody sold their 9.2 for $220. So let's just say you take the $60 out of that. So they really made $160. So that's before fees and shipping or whatever.
Yeah, they lost money.
Why don't you just sell it for $200?
Yeah, just take it out of the cart. Just take it out of the cart.
I don't understand that part. But you know what I'm going to ask you? We're just going to say it's $24. Split some difference. I got this cartridge here.
Give me the cash.
And $12 cash, which you got to take.
Give me the cash.
I think you're right. There is no way in hell I'd pay $20 for this cartridge. No. $2, yes. Maybe $5. $5 is high, so I'm going to spend on this bastard.
I was about to say $5 is the highest. $10 if I can get it bundled with something else.
I couldn't believe that. I mean, even if the game is $20, I figure maybe a complete copy would be $40. This game is more expensive than I thought it would be. But, that's just me. Mediocre. There is other games, Amiga games, that I'd rather buy for that price. Much less a game that was based off a show that had Amiga effects in it.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to pull down our nifty little
dry erase board
that I finally found the marker to after I lost it after the first or second use. So we're going to go ahead and rank this. So we're at the third game this season. Me and Josh, I have a feeling we're going to be the same on this one.
You don't know me.
I don't know you.
You don't know my life.
We've got the number one game so far this season out of the 10 that we're running. We're still Mount Rushmore. We got Gods, followed by American Gladiators. Do you know where you want to rank Seaquest Deep Sea Voyage?
Yeah, it's going number 3.
It is definitely going number 3.
It's number 3.
I was ready to make American Gladiators last week number 1, and
I talked you out of it.
Without meaning to. You brought up a great point. And I think I think the whole premise was, the replayability.
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and tell you, I will do that damn human slingshot or cannonball, whatever the hell it was. I will miss it that 176 times. I did not want to play this game again.
No.
Like, it just wasn't fun to me.
No, it was not. I said, and that is a thing too, because, I love my Sim City games. I love that game. I love my Sid Meier Civilization games. But this game here, it was a budget game that you had to work with, but it just
Well, I mean, there's games that and I'm sure there's people that do love this because I mean, it's like StarCraft.
Yeah.
And like, even Warcraft is like, it's a fantasy world, but it's basically a managing resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is battle aspects, and I don't know if that's what they're really going for here. Those games aren't typically my type of game. I mean, I don't mind allocating resources and stuff, but those, other than a SimCity game, that I've never really gotten to StarCraft, or Minecraft, or not Minecraft. Yeah, I've never got into that either. StarCraft, Warcraft, or Minecraft. And I do like some of these games where you do allocate resources, but none of them have ever did anything for me. And this one didn't either. It just was okay. I mean, I don't know if you said, hey, out of 700 games, where is this going to be? Is it going to be in like 650 and below? Probably not. But
middle of the pack.
I feel like it's generous to have it in the middle of the pack.
I think it's going to be middle of the pack.
I think it's probably going to fall like low 400s, maybe early 500s for me.
See, I'm thinking low 3, early 4s.
Okay. So I guess we've got our theme here. We've got Gods, which was originally an Amiga. Well, it was designed, I think, for Amiga.
Yeah.
We got American Gladiators, which has two combat, like you said, there's two games right there.
Gladiatorial events.
And then we got Seaquest, which the TV show had graphics designed by Amiga computers. So I don't know. Are we getting another gladiator type game? It's got to be Amiga for me. That is where I'm hanging my hat. It's going to be a freaking Amiga game.
It's going to be a game based off of a TV show and or movie.
Well, there could be that, or maybe even something Steven Spielberg. I don't know.
If we get that damn E.T. game.
Oh, like the one on Atari or whatever?
Yeah. Like, if we get something along those lines.
I don't know. They had an E.T. for Super Nintendo.
I don't either, but it's Steven Spielberg, and it wouldn't surprise me.
I will say so far, James Cameron games seem games based off of James Cameron film or production seem way more fun than
Steven Spielberg's base.
Yes. So I don't know. I've still got the freaking Titan submersible in my head. Like,
you trying to find another way to turn.
It's like the Titan submersible simulator almost. That's what this game was like for me because I was
No, you didn't. Well, yeah, we did blow up a lot. Yeah. They never found the bodies either.
Well, they found remains, I think.
Not in the video game, they didn't.
Oh, not in the video game, in real life. Which had to be like a hair or something. That'd be
a toenail.
I don't even think you found that. I think it was something liquefied. But, ew, is all I can say.
Well, this has been Willis Ness.
Where we got Titan submersibles and squid dicks.
Squid dicks.
We're coming back next week, loud and proud, with what I think is an Amiga game, and Josh says is a game based off a movie.
Or TV show.
All right, see you guys.
Happy aquatic hunting.
That's it.